Hello students, welcome to another lesson. Today we're going to solve page 12, page 13, and page 14. Okay, so let's start with page 12, exercise 1. We have to use could and couldn't. Could and couldn't. So, number 1. Look, this is picture number 1. Kate walked when she was 10 months old. Could she walk when she was 10 months old? Look at her. No, she couldn't. So Kate couldn't walk when she was 10 months old. Number 2, look at this picture. Kate typed on the computer when she was 4 years old. So, could she type on the computer? She was only 4 years old. No, she couldn't. She couldn't type on the computer when she was 4 years old. Number 3, look at this picture. Kate drew when she was 6 years old. Look, could she draw? Yes, she could. So, Kate could draw when she was 6 years old. Number 4, Kate sent an email when she was 9 years old. She was 9 years old. Could she send an email? Look, yes, she can type and she can send an email. So yes, she could. Kate could send an email when she was 9 years old. Please write it down in your books. Now, let's go to the exercise 2. Look and write sentences. Use can, can't, could, and couldn't. Okay, now listen. Can and can't, we use them for present, for now. We use can and can't. But could and couldn't, we use them for the past. We use them for the past. Like 5 years ago, that's in the past. So we use could and couldn't. But for present, for now, we use can and can't. Alright, so we have Faye and Andy. Rollerblade, play the drums, dive. 5 years ago and now. Okay, so Faye, 5 years ago. Faye couldn't rollerblade 5 years ago. But she can rollerblade now. But she can rollerblade now. We use can because it's in the present. Now let's go to the next activity, which is play the drums. Faye couldn't, because it's in the past, so couldn't play the drums 5 years ago. And Faye couldn't or can't. Very good, because it's now. Faye can't play the drums now. Very good. And she can't play the drums now. Alright? Now let's go to the next activity, which is diving. Faye could dive 5 years ago, and she can dive now. Very good. Now we finished Faye. Now let's go to Andy. Andy couldn't rollerblade 5 years ago, but he can rollerblade now. Very good. Now let's go to the next activity. Andy couldn't play the drums 5 years ago, but he can rollerblade, he can play the drums now. He can play the drums now. Okay, the last one, which is diving. Alright, so Andy could dive 5 years ago, but he can't dive now. Andy could dive 5 years ago, but he can't dive now. Very good. So please stop the video, write it down in your book, and then we will continue. Alright, good job. Let's go to this exercise. Exercise 3. Complete the sentences about yourself. Number 1. I can. What can you do? Alright. Of course, this exercise is totally up to you to write whatever you like, but I'm going to give you some suggestions. Alright, so here's my suggestions. Number 1, I can speak English. Now I can speak English. I can't swim well. I can't swim well. I could count 5 years ago. Count 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? I could count 5 years ago. I couldn't type on the computer 5 years ago. Of course, it's totally up to you to write any sentences you like, but if you don't have like ideas in your mind, you can use these ideas. All right? Thank you. So now let's go to the next page, which is page 13. Page 13. All right. Read and complete. Use the past progressive. Okay, this is grammar. It's related to grammar. We have to use past progressive. So, do you remember how can we use past progressive? It's very simple. First, if we have singular subjects like I, he, she, it, these are singular. Or for example, name of a man, name of a girl, we use was. For example, I was, alright, plus verb with ing. Okay, but if we have plural subjects like we, you, they, what do we use? We use were plus a verb with ing. Okay, very simple, very easy. Now we have to read and complete. Let's read. It was 1665 on Treasure Island, and pirates. Ooh, pirates. Is it singular or plural? Plural. So we're going to use were plus explore. We put ing at the end of the word, but remember we have to drop the e. So it becomes were exploring. Okay? Exploring the island. S silent. So it was 1665 on Treasure Island, and pirates were exploring the island. Three men. Okay, so these are 3 men. So that's plural. So also we're going to use were. 3 men were looking at a map. 2 men dig in the sand. Look. 2 men. So 2 men were. Dig becomes digging. 2 men were digging. Alright. 2 men were digging in the sand. Okay, so let's start with this. Other man. So we have man. It's what? It's a plural. Other men were looking. For food. And others look for treasure. Others were looking for treasure. Okay? The captain's name was Blackheart. He not dig or looking for treasure. So here we have negative. We are talking about the captain, right? A captain, he. So he's singular. So we're going he was. He wasn't digging. He wasn't digging or looking for treasure. So he sit. What do we say? He was what? He was sitting. Remember, we have to double the T. Here we go. Sitting. He was sitting under a palm tree. Look. He was what? He was relaxing. That's an X. Relaxing. And eating bananas. His parrot was what? His parrot was talking. His parrot was talking. Good job. Okay, so please write it down in your book. This is how do we form the sentences with the past progressive tense. Alright, now let's go. Read activity 1 and answer the questions. Were some men looking at a map? Were some men looking at the map? Alright, yes they were. Very good. Number 2. Were all the men looking for treasure? All the men were looking for treasure? No, they weren't. Number 3. Was the captain relaxing? The captain, was he relaxing? Yes, he was. Was his parrot eating bananas? His parrot was eating bananas? No, it wasn't. Alright. Now, please write it down in your book and let's move on. Think about yesterday. What were you and your family doing at 5 o'clock? Right. So, yesterday at 5 o'clock, what were you and your family doing? For example, we were we were watching a film and we were eating popcorn. Yummy. So you can write, of course it's totally up to you to write whatever you want. You can add 2 more sentences. Thank you. Alright, now let's jump to this page, page 14. So read and circle. Exercise 1. Read and circle. Number 1. The ship was sailing to Mexico when the captain or driver saw a small island. Look, what do we call the man who sails a ship? Do we call him a driver? No, we call him a captain. Very good. Number 2. The Titanic hit a or an mountain or iceberg on 14th of April 1912. A mountain or iceberg? An iceberg, of course. It was sailing. Number 3. Captain Cook went on his first voyage or jump in 1768. Voyage, of course, because he's a captain. He sails. Number 4. Bob and George had a fight or map, but now they're friends again. Map? No. Map means خريطة. No. They had a fight. They had a fight. GH silent. Fight. They were fighting. Let's go and sail or explore the cave. Explore, of course. Number 6. I was reading the map or picture when Kim came home. Can we read a picture? No, we can't. I was reading a map. I was reading the map. Very good. Good job. Please write it down in your book. Thank you. Now, exercise 2 says look and write. Number 1. Cook, come home. Mrs. Smith was cooking when the children came home. Okay, so listen. Here we have to use the past progressive and also past simple to make these sentences. So remember, please, after when we have when, after when, this word, we always use past simple. Now, let's go to number 2. Drive, see. So Paul, what was he doing? He was driving. When he saw a bear. Very good. Paul was driving when he saw a bear. After when, we always use present simple. Past simple, sorry. Number 3. Patty, play, fall. So Patty was playing when she fell. Patty was playing what? Basketball. When she fell. Number 4. we paint, we were painting when the phone rang. When the phone rang. Number 5. The dogs sleep, hear noise. So the dogs were sleeping when they heard a noise. When they heard a noise. Number 6. Lucy walk, find money. Lucy was walking when she found some money on the floor. Okay, so remember, first we use past progressive, and then we use, for the short actions, we use what? We use a past simple. Thank you very much. Our lesson for today is over. See you in the next lesson. Goodbye.